LeBron James and the Los Angeles Lakers stood idly by as their Western Conference rivals improved. Meanwhile, Giannis Antetokounmpo and the Milwaukee Bucks did the same, but their fellow East contenders didn't make them pay. The Minnesota Timberwolves and Golden State Warriors helped each other out, while the Detroit Pistons and Cleveland Cavaliers just confused everyone. Here are the winners and losers from the NBA trade deadline. Winners: Memphis Grizzlies. Over the past 12 months, the Grizzlies have been one of the most well-run front offices in the NBA. John Morant was easy, but getting Brandon Clarke with the 21st overall pick was genius, and they picked up a quality, under-the-radar head coach in Taylor Jenkins. They just managed to nail their decisions at the trade deadline, too. Think about it. They traded Julian Washburn for Andre Iguodala and a protected first-round pick, and managed to turn that into Justise Winslow, Dion Waiters, and Gorgui Dieng. Winslow is the big pickup there, and while he might not play this season due to a bad back, he's a quality young player who can fit their style of play. He can even be a decent trade piece in the future if need be. Iguodala wasn't playing anyway, so general manager Zachary Kleiman got a very solid trade package, practically in exchange for nothing. That's a win. Andre Iguodala. Iguodala is an obvious winner, too. The Warriors had to trade him in order to get under the cap, and he came to a mutual agreement with the Grizzlies to just sit out until the team found a buyer for him. At 36, Iguodala worked out on his own, still got paid, and went on a book tour, only to be traded to Miami and sign a 2-year, $30 million extension. Minnesota Timberwolves and Golden State Warriors. While there have been cases of talent overriding fit in the NBA, the general consensus is that your roster needs to make sense before it can make magic. Or something like that. Looking at the post-trade deadline rosters for both teams tells a tale of two franchises who understood that, and acted accordingly. D'Angelo Russell is a score-first point guard, who is lethal in the pick-and-roll. He's friends with Karl Anthony Towns off the court, and he'll be an even better friend on it. Andrew Wiggins wasn't a bad fit in Minnesota, but when something's not working, there's little reason to keep trying. He gets a fresh start, so do the T-Wolves. As for the Warriors, they received a first-round pick for next year's draft, considered to contain superior talent compared to the 2020 class, and a player in Wiggins, who is as productive as he is unpopular. Like it or not, Wiggins has averaged 22 points this season. And while it's not the most efficient scoring in the world, he'll head to Golden State, where, when healthy, he'll be, at best, a third option. He's also objectively a better fit for a team that would have had to play Klay Thompson at the 3 to make Russell and Steph Curry work together. The contract's not great, and Russell is the superior player, but Wiggins is a former number 1 overall pick and still just 24 years old. Adding Omari Spellman and Jacob Evans to the deal also means the Warriors avoided the repeater tax. Milwaukee Bucks. When you do nothing, your best bet is that those around do the same. And while the Miami Heat and Philadelphia 76ers made moves, no one has closed the sizable gap that appears to exist in the Eastern Conference. The Heat added Andre Iguodala and Jay Crowder, but if anything, that probably just solidifies them as East contenders, rather than pushing them level, or above, Milwaukee. Philly added Glenn Robinson III and Alec Burks, but those aren't names that shift the power balance. Boston, Toronto, and Indiana all did nothing. Giannis Antetokounmpo and the Bucks are 43-7 and 6.5 games ahead in the East. Good luck catching them. Losers. Los Angeles Lakers. The Lakers didn't do anything. The Clippers went and got a veteran shooter. The Nuggets bolstered their bench. The Rockets went all in on whatever the hell they're doing, being small and all. The Lakers, nothing. We've seen them have issues with wing depth. Kyle Kuzma still looks like the odd man out, and another ball handler, someone other than LeBron James or Anthony Davis who can create for himself and others, would have been useful, but Rob Pelinka and company decided to stay put. They'll reportedly give J.R. Smith a workout, while they hope Darren Collison decides to return to basketball. But geez, that's a grim sentence for a title contender. There's a chance they get to the postseason and are one piece away from truly being in the championship conversation, and it'll be their own fault. Detroit Pistons. We get it, the Detroit Pistons didn't want to be tied down to that less-than-ideal contract, but there doesn't seem to have been any rhyme or reason why they accepted the offer from the Cleveland Cavaliers. In exchange for Drummond, an all-star level big, the Pistons got Brandon Knight, John Henson, and a second-round pick. Yes, the Pistons get to start their post-Drummond life, and don't have to deal with that salary anymore, but they practically gave him up for nothing. They definitely could have gotten something better, anything better. Surely. Kevin Love. It's an open secret that Kevin Love doesn't want to be in Cleveland anymore. He just wanted to go to a playoff team, one that can make the most of his skill set. The Cavaliers did make a blockbuster trade, but the Pistons' desire was to shed money, so it would have made no sense to bring the power forward into the fold. That's the unfortunate reality for Love, who shall remain in Cleveland for the foreseeable future, helpless and alone. Philadelphia 76ers. Do Glenn Robinson III and Alec Burks help? Sure. They provide some bench scoring and a bit of shooting. Do they solve Philadelphia's problems? Not in the slightest. And not that those problems really could have been solved now. The Sixers will eventually have to figure out what to do with Ben Simmons and Joel Embiid. Meanwhile, Al Horford hasn't exactly settled in, and his contract is long and expensive. You feel the buyout market is where Philly will have one more opportunity to add the shooting they so desperately need.